and welcome to another episode of the Verde Valley Experience, our first episode of the new year, 2017. That's right. Well, it's time to clean up, clean out, get moving, all that good stuff happening. And our guest today will supply you with lots of information that you need to do just that, whether it's just cleaning up at home or cleaning up out in the community or helping out at home or the community. Doesn't matter. We've got it here for you as usual. Another year of the Verde Valley Experience. Our first guest today is Jennifer Perry, who is the office manager at Sir Moves a Lot. If you want to clean up and clean out for the new year, Sir Moves a Lot can certainly help. They can move your whole house or just move some unwanted items, perhaps, to a thrift store that could use them for the benefit of the community. Hint, hint. That comes in later. Jennifer will fill us in on all the ways Sir Moves a Lot can help you, as well as help the community. So good stuff there. Next up will be Matthew Kelly, who is the executive director of the Verde Valley Sanctuary. The sanctuary offers a safe haven for victims of family violence and sexual assault, providing shelter, community outreach, legal advocacy, education, and prevention. And did you know that you can support the sanctuary through their thrift store? Twice Nice Thriftique. That's right. By shopping and donating at Twice Nice, your money goes directly towards helping the Verde Valley Sanctuary and to help our neighbors in need. So Matt will come up real soon and tell us all about it. And oh boy, the Sedona Film Festival is coming. Yes, in only a few short weeks, some of the best films from all over the world will be premiering at the Mary D. Fisher Theater in Sedona. Executive Director Patrick Schweiss will be in the studio to fill us in on what's new, what's happening, and the must-sees that are coming up at this year's festival. Our next guest will be Mr. Sedona himself. Mr. Sedona, a.k.a. Dennis Andres, the CEO of Sedona Private Guides, is a writer, a speaker, and an adventure guide. Dennis has been living in Sedona for over 20 years, and he has hiked over, catch this, 15,000 miles on our trails. Can you believe that number? 15,000 miles. This guy is an expert on all the trails in this area. It's amazing. He's the author of 4 books, soon to be 5. Dennis is going to share some of his vast knowledge of hiking in this area, especially which trails are best for this time of the year. Then we'll head over to Fort Verde State Historic Park and chat with the guys from the Camp Verde Cavalry. The Camp Verde Cavalry is a group of fine gentlemen who are dedicated to keeping the history of the cavalry alive and well, not only in Camp Verde, but also all around the U.S., and they have a really good time while doing it. I'll tell you what, we'll meet with Colonel Jody White and Lieutenant Colonel Howard Parish for story time and info on all the things that you need to know if you want to join in on all the fun. And we'll finish out our show today with a live performance from Flagstaff singer and songwriter Ryan Biter. He's amazing. I'm so glad to have him back. He's got such a soulful voice and a huge catalog of his own original music. Ryan Biter's tunes span the genres from sweet waltzes to funky pop to soulful blues. So glad he's here. Stick around. You'll get lots of that later on. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Lots of stuff to do today. So we're going to start out with the office manager from Sir Moves a Lot, Miss Jennifer Perry. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us. We're excited to be here.
I bet. You guys must be super busy this time of year, around the 1st.
Yeah, every time of the year seems to be a busy time for us because people are always moving and people always need to get rid of things. So as we look at the new year and our New Year's resolutions, it's time to clean out, and we're here to help.
Right. See, that's interesting. You guys have a bit of a different spin. I think of moving companies. You think, okay, I'm moving to Ohio. Let's come pack my house up. But it's different with you guys. You'll move one thing, little things. It doesn't even have to move somewhere. It can just be out of the house and to the appropriate place, be it a thrift shop for donations or the dump for things that aren't usable. I mean, that's an amazing service you guys do.
Well, whenever there's something heavy and you need some heavy lifting done, think about Sir Moves a Lot. There are 3 main services we offer. Moving services, we do local moves, long distance moves completely across the country. We can pack your entire house for you. We even make custom crates for your fine art collection. Or if you're just remodeling and you're getting your floors redone and you need the furniture moved into your garage for a week, we'll come over, move it out. We do staging for lots of realtors. They move the furniture into the house while it's being sold. When the house sells, we'll move it to the next house for you or over to a storage locker. So we have our moving services, and then we do delivery services. If you buy something at Twice Nice or you see something that you can't live without in Phoenix, but you don't know how to get it there, call Sir Moves a Lot. We're here to help. And then in moving, and what we found living in the Verde Valley for the last 15 years is it's really hard to get rid of stuff that doesn't fit in your weekly trash barrel. The dump is a long way away, and unless you have a good friend or brother with a pickup truck, you don't know how to get it there. So you can call Sir Moves a Lot, and we'll get rid of your old mattress, that water heater that broke, the boxes after you move, or if you're moving and you realize, you know what, I've had this couch forever, I don't want it anymore, call Sir Moves a Lot, and we'll take care of it.
That's great. And the items that are usable and still in good condition, you guys will take them to a thrift store.
Right. Our color is green for a reason, because we're very environmentally conscious, and we feel that it's really important as a community that we partner with various organizations. So if there's something you just want the newer model television, and you want to get rid of the old one, we'll work within the community to try to find a place that could possibly use it. So we regularly bring things to Goodwill, to the Humane Society thrift shops, to the Sanctuaries thrift shops, to the Old Town Mission. If there's some useful life and it can be used again, we try to find another home for it. If it doesn't work anymore, we have a whole team on our disposal side of the business that will then break things apart that are no longer usable so that they can be recycled.
Ooh.
We break the metal apart and it goes to the metal recycling. Plastics are broken apart and go to plastic recycling. So we really try to minimize the amount that actually goes into the landfills.
Wow. Great. That is
and it's
amazing.
just important, and we all need to do that, and we're here to help. And many people would like to do it on their own, and there's some people who just don't have the time or the inclination. But you can know when you get rid of something with Sir Moves a Lot that you're making a conscious choice to minimize the impact on the planet.
Absolutely, because you think, we throw away so much stuff. How many tons is it per person per year? It's a lot.
Yeah.
And you think, and I know when I'm at the recycling place, I'm like, okay, this is plastic, and I'm taking the caps off of everything, taking the rings out of everything, and making sure everything goes where it needs to go. And when you do something and you move and you have all this stuff, I don't know what to do with, you think you could throw that in the dump and you feel bad.
Right.
When it could have useful life. It could, of course, return as something else. The big thing now is everything has a tag that says, I used to be a computer. I used to be, a water bottle. I used to be somebody's unwanted television, and that's great.
We have a lot of customers now who have canceled their weekly trash pickup because they recycle so much. It's just not worth it. And we're directly across the street from Sedona Recycles on Shelby Drive.
Yes, you are.
And we have our transfer station there. So you can go to Sedona Recycles and recycle all your plastics and your cardboard or whatever, and people will come over with a tiny little bag of the few things that couldn't be recycled, and they can dispose of them, that small bag, with us.
Like kitchen trash, like the trash that's not recyclable.
Exactly.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. That is super duper cool. So I can go take all my stuff to the recycling place, get that all squared away, feel really good about the environment, and that little baggie of stuff that's not recyclable, that's trash, I can walk across the street to your transfer station.
Yep.
And for a very minimal charge,
for $5 a bag.
Wow!
Yeah, so it's great,
like,
and we're there Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, and Saturdays, 8 to 1.
Wow.
So,
that's amazing.
And then if you have a lot of stuff, if you have more than a bag, we'll come out to your house and pick up whatever you want. We just have a minimum charge of $25. So it's really easy, it's not expensive, and you can feel really good about it.
Right. And we were talking a little earlier about moving heavy things. When you're in your 20s, you're like, I can do it. I'm. And then you get a little older and you're like, I could still do it. And then you get a little older, you go, I could do it, but why? I'm at that stage now. I think I've gotten smarter. Yeah, I could do that. But why? When somebody else will do it for you. Like, yes, a piano. We're mentioning pianos. You just picked up a piano, and then where did you take it?
I just ran into the executive director of the Verde Valley Sanctuary in the lobby, and last week we picked up a piano, a baby grand that was being donated to Verde Valley Sanctuary, and we picked it up at the donor's home and brought it to the Sanctuary's thrift shop. I believe it's Twice Nice, where they now have that for sale.
There you go.
So we do that regularly. All of our movers are professionally trained. We're members of the American Moving and Storage Association, and they all undergo extensive training. We have members of our team that are specialized packers. We have specialty piano movers. We have a team of 4 people tomorrow going out to move a hot tub from Camp Verde to Prescott, and with a really tricky yard and driveway, and we have special hot tub dollies, and they know how to move things on their side and flip them over and get them through tight spaces. So
that sure beats the skateboard I moved my hot tub on. I I did, really.
Really?
It was interesting. Yes.
Wow.
Well, leave it to the professionals. Absolutely. Goodness gracious. Sir Moves a Lot. You guys have been around for a long time and you've done a lot of good for the community. Really nicely run business.
Well,
So,
thank you. That's my brother, Christopher Wales, and he started the business in 2004, and we just want to treat everybody like their family and take good care of them.
Well, you certainly have been doing that. So check out sirmovesalot.com. Very simple, sirmovesalot.com. Of course, great website, lots of information there. You can also give them a call at 928-282-2150. Give them a call and say, I need my piano moved or my litter box needs to be changed. No, you probably, you never know. They just might do that for you, actually. Jennifer, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you.
And we'll be right back with lots more of the experience, so don't go away.
Alvin and the Chipmunks want to remind you, bacteria can hide in food and make you ill.
Wow.
But you can keep bacteria from ruining your day with 4 simple steps. Clean.
I'm waiting for the rinse cycle.
Separate. Cook.
Fire in the hole!
And chill.
We chipmunks are notoriously tidy.
Check your steps. The road trip to food safety starts at foodsafety.gov.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. Even though we are one of the most food-rich countries in the world, 15 million children don't know where their next meal is coming from. This is unacceptable, and something the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks is working to solve. Instead of accepting that our country lets billions of pounds of surplus food go to waste every year, Feeding America has made it their mission to help families in need by rescuing this food. Through food pantries and meal programs, the nationwide network of food banks provides more than 3 billion meals, serving virtually every community in the United States, including yours. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank by visiting feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
And welcome back to the Verde Valley Experience. We are now here with Matthew Kelly, who is the Executive Director of the Verde Valley Sanctuary. Thank you for being here today.
Great.
And an amazing position you're holding for an amazing organization.
It's an odd subject, domestic violence. I was at Spectrum Healthcare for many years here, and then I was recruited over to the domestic violence shelter, the Verde Valley Sanctuary. Domestic violence is a difficult topic. It's kind of a mysterious topic. It's something that happens down the road, but not us. It's kind of a private and embarrassing subject, but we're starting to see it in a new light. It's really a community problem. It's very multifaceted. It's not just about one bad person that gets another. It's about economy and medicine and social issues, legal issues, and history of the children, etc. What surprises me the most in this new position is everywhere I go in Sedona, in Cottonwood and Sedona, people are supportive. People are wanting to help.
Yes.
We have a shelter in the Cottonwood, Sedona area. It's 28 beds for ladies and children. About 50% of the clients are children. Men can come. Anyone can come that needs help. We also have a legal advocacy office where we have 4 legal advocates who help people through their legal issues around domestic violence and victims of crime. We have a beautiful new outreach office that's going to be in East Mingus, up by the Maverick gas station, by Desert Dancer. It's a new outreach office where people can come and get help without coming to the shelter. Anyone can come to get services, whether it's any kind of family services, they can come and talk to our therapists. So it's a beautiful new coordination center for the first time.
Excellent.
We also have a youth empowerment program where we go into the schools and educate the children on bullying and relationships and trauma and divorce issues.
Wow.
It's very popular.
I bet. Those are some majorly serious hot issues right now.
Yeah. So we really are trying to look at it. It's not really a woman's problem. It's really a community problem. The police force, Cottonwood Police Force, just got a new domestic violence position where they have a woman advocate who goes with the police to handle domestic violence issues and take care of the victims and then get them the services they need. It's a wonderful new police coordination effort.
Wow.
So in a lot of ways, Verde Valley is quite thorough in the services that are available
being
for victims
provided.
of crime or victims of domestic violence issues.
That's great. And you've experienced wonderful community support.
It surprises me everywhere I go, from the movers to the garbage man or to UPS or to the fire department. Everyone wants to help. Like, for example, the Cottonwood Quilting Society just gave us 20 beautiful, gorgeous quilts to give out as Christmas gifts to our ladies.
Wow.
The Humane Societies, everyone just, the Kiwanis and the different organizations just give us all kinds of support. We're
That's
so
great.
grateful for.
And in what ways can the public support you? What do you need?
Well, we love it when people call up our thrift stores and bring in products to sell at the thrift stores. We have two beautiful thrift stores, one here in Cottonwood and one in Sedona, both called Twice Nice. They're fun, they're clean and nice, and a fun place to spend a couple, 30 minutes.
Right.
So bring in your supplies, bring in your good items for us to sell.
Yes.
And that goes directly into the services of about 50% of our funding comes from the thrift stores.
Wow, 50%.
Which is 50%, which is amazing.
That's huge.
We depend on that.
Wow.
Another way to support us is to take advantage of the Arizona Charitable Tax Credit. It's not too late. You have until April 15th to donate certain part of your state tax money directly to us. You can look at our website, verdevalleysanctuary.org, verdevalleysanctuary.org, or you can go on to the Verde Valley Tax Credit Coalition, which is a group of nonprofits who are qualified. You can go onto their website and choose which charity you want to donate to, and then select the amount.
Right.
You can donate up to $700, $400 per person or $800 per family.
Right. Yeah. That's great. Yeah, that's something that everyone should take part in, the Arizona tax credit. We mention that a lot on the show because it's so far-reaching. It's such an amazing program, and really, you're going to pay the government or you're going to help your community. It's kind of a no-brainer. So here's yet another organization that you can support through the Arizona tax credit. And as far as thrifting goes, you call them thrift stores. They're not thrift stores. They're amazing. I am dressed in Twice Nice today. That is true. This wonderful Ralph Lauren dress that I'm wearing that I love, and the shoes. The shoes. They came from Twice Nice in Sedona. I love that place. I get the nicest stuff. Yes, now we can see my shoes.
It's kind of fun, and we have a video there that's very interesting to watch. If you have the time, go a little earlier, take 5 minutes and watch the video on domestic violence. It's really about the opportunities of women. You know, the answer of domestic violence is to create a new life for yourself and your family, and to step forward, empowerment of women. Domestic violence, we're looking at it in a little different way than we used to. It's actually a brutal reality. Is domestic violence is a form of domestic terrorism. Women or children or men are terrorized in their families, in their houses. One of the most dangerous places for a woman to be, for many women to be, is actually in their own house, which is kind of a startling thought.
Yes.
Like, for example, in the Twin Towers, about 3,000 people were killed in the Twin Towers disaster. But every 19 months in America, 3,000 women and children are killed, the same amount that we lost in the Twin Towers. So it's a very serious problem.
Certainly.
Or in our wars in the last 12 years, we've lost about 6,500 soldiers. But in the same amount of time, we've lost twice as many women in America. So it's still a very serious problem.
Absolutely, and I can see that you're very passionate about it, Matthew. I can see that you're in a good position for change right here.
Well, we care. Everyone cares.
Yeah.
If you need help, call our crisis line. That's 634-2511. 634-2511. That's a crisis line you can call 24/7. Or go to our outreach office on North Mingus Avenue by Maverick.
Yep.
And just walk in there and ask for help.
There you go. Definitely.
We have a lot of good partners, Catholic Charities and DES office and the substance abuse people, Steps to Recovery. We're trying to become one big giant family in Cottonwood.
Yeah. And it's working.
It's working.
You can definitely
It's
see that.
surprising
You can
to me.
definitely see that. Check out verdevalleysanctuary.org. Make sure that you donate to the Twice Nice in Cottonwood and in Sedona, and make sure you shop both thriftiques. Find lots of good stuff, and of course, support the Verde Valley Sanctuary. Thank you so much, Matthew. Really appreciate you being here. Absolutely appreciate the work that you're doing. Matthew Kelly, who is Executive Director of the Verde Valley Sanctuary. And we'll be right back, so don't go away.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help. And slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
And welcome back to the Verde Valley Experience. We are now here with the Executive Director of the Sedona International Film Festival. We have the lovely and talented Mr. Patrick Schweiss in the studio.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thanks so much. Glad to be here.
Thank you for joining us. Every year we get you for
We
this.
do, and every year it gets more and more exciting.
I know. Every year you're more and more enthusiastic, as if that were possible.
I'm afraid as I get older that might change.
Oh, just temper
But I'll try to,
slightly,
yeah.
but the level is still going to be
Exactly.
there. Your expression of it may
Exactly.
change, but yes. Tell us about the festival this year.
Well, we're very excited. The festival is February 18th through the 26th, and continuing kind of on the trend we started the last couple years with Earth, Wind, and Fire and then Chicago, we're going to open the festival with Bruce Hornsby in concert. So Bruce Hornsby and the Noisemakers are coming to Sedona, and we're very, very excited. 3-time Grammy Award winner. He's amazing in concert. And we have a really wonderful local connection. One of his best friends growing up in Williamsburg, Virginia, lives in Sedona, which is how we got him. Larry Lineberry is a very, very good friend of his.
Thank you, Larry.
And yes, thank you, Larry. We're very excited about that. So it's wonderful. So Bruce is going to open the show, and we're also hoping we can get him to do, he does a lot of the soundtracks for films. And so there's a nice movie connection too. In fact, he does all of Spike Lee's soundtracks for all of his films. So we're hoping we're going to get him for a special section on how to score a movie as well. So it's kind of exciting.
That's very
And then we have another wonderful thing. We're always given these incredible gifts of people who know people, because in our business it's who you know. And luckily, some very dear friends of Michael Feinstein live in Sedona. So the incredible 5-time Grammy-nominated Michael Feinstein and his trio are going to be coming and performing at the end of the festival. So Bruce Hornsby will be on February 18th. Michael will be on February 25th. So we have really nice little kind of bookends to the festival with these musical entertainers. So it's really going to be quite spectacular. He's going to do his Ira Gershwin program and music in the movies. So there's a nice tie to the film industry as well.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Good job on that one.
So we're very excited. And then we're also going to do for those nostalgic folks, we've got two little nostalgic things that are happening. Cloris Leachman is going to come and be our Lifetime Achievement Award winner. We just signed the contract for that.
All right.
So Cloris will be here, and we'll show one of her classic films and do a really fun Q&A. She's outrageously funny in person. She's kind of a comedian herself, just aside from her TV persona. And so we're going to have great fun with her. And then Peter Marshall from the old Hollywood Squares. Peter Marshall travels around doing a cabaret show. He's 90 years old, and he sings like he's a 40-year-old. I mean, he's just fantastic. And he has a special cabaret show that's a tribute to movies that we're going to do. So we're kind of excited about that, too.
That's perfect.
Plus, we have 160 of the best films from around the world, documentaries, features, all sorts of things. So it's turning out to be a really wonderful festival lineup.
It's always a really wonderful festival.
Thank you.
What gets me, what I don't like, is I can't see them all.
I know.
And it's so hard to choose.
It is hard to choose.
Because there's I want to see this one and then they're playing at the same time. I was like, I need to be in 3 places at once.
Sometimes decisions have to be made. I know it's difficult.
But I want to see them all.
Yeah, it is. But we're kind of forming some tracks as well. So we've got a lot of people who are very interested in documentaries. We've got a World Cinema Showcase, which is going to feature some of the Academy Award nominated foreign films and Golden Globe nominated films and things. We have a Docs That Make a Difference track. We show very, very powerful documentaries that we hope will turn movies into motivation and make people want to get out and do something about that subject matter when they leave the theater. And then we also have a Sedona Green series, and that's probably our strongest track in the festival right now, is our sustainable and green, good for the planet films. And we found some remarkable ones this year. We've got some incredible women. Connie Levinson heads up our documentary division. Carrie Oscar heads up our feature narratives, and Denise Struby heads up the team for shorts. And the three, I call them our three queens. They've done a miraculous job of just finding the best of the best that's out there this year. We've got our best lineup ever in our festival history.
Wow.
Yeah.
And your brochure reads like a fine art novel.
It does.
It's
like
so
a Bible.
Beautiful. It is.
And thank you for that.
And it's thick and it's gorgeous, and I save them. Is that weird? I save them.
It's not
they're
weird.
pretty.
We hear that a lot.
And then I have them all
like
circled.
a souvenir
like
piece.
This is what I need to. Yeah, it's like a playbill.
Exactly.
I want to see this one, and this one. I need to. There's a huge list.
Yeah.
So that is an invaluable resource of the best films around the world right now.
That is. And it's really nice because we have so many different options for people to experience the festival. They can, buy individual tickets to the movies if they just want to dabble. We have a 10 or 20 ticket package if they want to share that and have 2 of them see 5 films each or 2 of them see 10 films each, and they can pick and choose. Or if you want to experience the festival the first class way, you can do it with a pass. A gold pass gets you unlimited movies and priority seating. And a platinum pass gets all of that, plus all the parties, the VIP lounge at Sedona Rouge, all sorts of wonderful things. And there's a party every night or a reception every night for those people who have the platinum pass package.
Party every night.
There is. It keeps us very, very busy. And we're also very busy. We're also excited because in midweek we're doing something very different this year. And 9 days is a long time for a film festival, and we realize that. And by kind of day 6, day 7, people's eyes are glazed over. We're going to do a really fun midweek Broadway break. On Wednesday of the festival, Wednesday the 22nd of February, we're going to have a tribute to Andrew Lloyd Webber's Broadway. And there's a cast of 8 people coming out from New York, and they do all of the famous songs from all the famous Andrew Lloyd Webber musicals as a stage production. And so we're really excited about that. So we're bringing in a little bit of music, a little bit of movies, Broadway, all those kind of things.
Wow,
So
that's a great idea. A little intermezzo in the middle.
That's right.
So that you can refocus.
Because we do realize you need a little bit of a break from the movies too. There's a lot of heavy subject matter in independent films. So by the time you've seen 6, 8 films, you need to be able to laugh a little bit and have a little bit of fun.
Right, your
too.
brain needs a little something. That's my favorite genre, is the independent, and especially the foreign independent. It's like, meaty stuff.
There's some meaty stuff in there. There's some really great things.
What are you looking forward to seeing this year?
I think I'm looking forward to probably seeing, we've got a really wonderful foreign film called France that's in the lineup. And then there's an Emily Dickinson film called A Quiet Passion. And those are going to be 2 of our most popular films, I think. And then we've got Fire at Sea and Death by Design are 2 really powerful documentaries. And there's a really outrageous documentary that I hope everyone gets to see called Chicken People. So I know it sounds strange. No, it sounds
awesome.
But the Westminster Dog Show?
Yes.
How people who do these show dogs?
No
There's
way.
shows for chickens.
Chicken shows.
Show chickens. And it is the funniest thing. You'll have tears coming out of your eyes after this 90 minutes. They blow dry the chickens, and they make them little puffballs, and they paint their little fingernails and their beaks, and they get them all glossed up. It is it's a business. It's an industry.
That's great.
And it's outrageously
Boy,
funny.
That would be
great fun.
Do you have a Q&A after that
We
one?
do.
You do?
Yes.
After
So
the chicken
we'll
one?
have a Q&A with the filmmakers after that one because everyone's going to want to talk about it. It's probably going to be the most talked about film at the festival because you'll never look at a chicken the same way again. It's
you may never eat
hysterically
chicken
funny.
again.
Exactly.
I may not be able to. I love the Q&As, by the way. That
Aren't
is
they great?
so much fun.
Yeah.
You watch the film, and then at the end you get to speak to someone in the know who can answer questions. You're like, did that really happen? And and
it's a wonderful way
brilliant.
to go behind the camera. You know, from your seat in the theater to behind the camera and behind
Yeah.
the scenes. And then we also do some free filmmaker conversations and panel discussions the mornings of the festival, the weekday mornings at the Mary Fisher Theater. So all of them are free. We talk about screenwriting, cinematography, directing, acting in film, all sorts of wonderful
Good
things.
stuff. Good stuff to know. Check out SedonaFilmFestival.org. You can get your tickets, your passes. You can look at the list of sponsors. Read about the endowment fund. That is really interesting. I'm sorry we don't have enough time. We could spend a whole segment just on the endowment fund. But read that. It's very fascinating. Great, great website. Check it out. Everything you need to know. Of course, the Sedona International Film Festival is the best. Patrick, thank you so much for being here. Patrick Schweiss, the Executive Director of the Sedona International Film Festival, which is coming up in February 18th through the 26th. I'll see you there, and we'll be right back.
Your seat cushion can be used to grant wishes.
Who said that? Hello?
Really can, you know.
You talking to me?
Sure am. Because the airline miles or dollars you donate to Make-A-Wish can help send thousands of kids on their wish trips. So donate to Make-A-Wish today.
You really should, you know. You really should.
And give wishes wings. Because wishes work wonders. Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
And welcome back to the Verde Valley Experience. We are now sitting here with the official Mr. Sedona. I know, isn't that just too cool? It's too cool. We have Dennis Andres with us, who is the CEO at Sedona Private Guides, the author of almost 5 books now. The 5th one is soon to be coming out. And truly, the one human being on the planet that has covered every square inch of the trails surrounding our area. 15,000 miles at this point. Is that it?
That is the current count. Yes.
The current count, and still
still walking.
Do you have a pedometer?
No, that would have made a lot of sense. If I had thought of this 20 years ago when I started walking, I would have kept better count. So it is a rough average. I am within a couple dozen miles of 15,000, but
that's how many pairs of
nobody's
shoes
counting.
have you gone through?
A lot of shoes. A lot of shoes. I should be investing in some hiking shoe companies.
You should, yes, for sure. What you've done for hiking in this area is amazing. You are the god and the guru of all things hiking here. I mean, the books that you've written, the Sedona's Top 10 Hikes, that breaks it down, makes it easy. It's just 10 if you're on, you got a short list, and of course, top 10. That's the easiest. Bang, let's get it. Let's go to the good stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's the Sedona Essential Guidebook, the Insider's Guide to Sedona, and the new book.
Yes. Well, I'm very excited about it. Things have changed a lot in Sedona, and even though Sedona has so many millions of visitors for so long, a lot of visitors were people that passed through in a relatively short period of time. Something's happening out there with hiking now, which is, first of all, that for the first time ever, there's a tremendous amount of bona fide scientific research showing the health benefits of hiking. For example, it's been demonstrated now that moving your body in nature is beneficial to your eyesight, particularly your peripheral vision. It boosts your immunity. There's good evidence that it can lengthen your life as well. When people walk in nature in the morning, they tend to have more productive days. And people who take a problem into nature before on the start of a walk often find more creative solutions. Now, hikers could have told you that a long time ago, but now we have the evidence to back it as well. And the main reason this has shifted with hiking over time is because for many years, nature was a bad place to do an experiment. There's simply too many variables. And in addition, the machinery and equipment to measure heartbeat, brainwave, your pulse, that stuff was big. Now it's been miniaturized. Now that the testing has been done, it's just wonderful to see how many positive results have been verified by doing this. Another great thing about walking in nature that we've demonstrated now is the beneficial effect it has on your senses. I mentioned that your eyesight improves as well, but the other senses as well. And by the way, Jennifer, I don't know if you know this, but we don't just have 5 senses. We probably have closer to 20 senses. Those senses develop from over 1 million years of human beings living and being in nature and moving their bodies. So when we go back into nature, it continues that process of protecting, regenerating, and developing the power of our senses.
There's so many good reasons to get out and into nature. And as far as hiking goes this time of year, is there anything we need to consider if we go out hiking this time of year?
Well, it's so exciting because we've got in addition to the fact that the science is changing, Sedona is changing. And I think, honestly, it's time for people in the Verde Valley to recognize something they may not realize. Almost everybody knows that this is a good place to hike. What they may not realize is this is actually the best place in America to go for a hike. And I have a lot of reasons. I can tell you why. I spent much of the last 3 years visiting the other great places in America, and I can tell you that we're the best. And one of the reasons we're best is that many of those other wonderful places to hike have snow that covers the trails between 3 and 6 months a year. So Sedona's year-round hiking is a tremendous benefit. I love winter hiking. There's so many benefits about it. First of all, there tend to be fewer crowds on the trails. The quality of the blue in the sky is much deeper. It's a great time for photography as well. The things you should watch for if you're in higher elevations are areas where trails can be icier if they're in the shade. The shady side of Doe Mesa, for example, which faces to the north and doesn't get that winter sunlight. That can be colder or icier or sometimes wet, and sometimes red rock can be slick when it's wet. But most of the time, compared to most of the other places that call themselves great places to hike, our sandstone is very grippy, and that's actually a great asset. Sandstone is very easy on your joints. It's something that other places don't have to offer in terms of hiking.
That's true. And we've got miles and miles. I mean, do you have an idea of, if you tied them all together, how many miles of trails we've got?
Well, as a matter of fact, we have 288 4/10 of a mile of official trails that we'll be talking about in the book. But it gets even better than that. So besides the 288 miles of trails that you could hike, which could take you a while, if you want more than that, my new book will be the first ever comprehensive guide to loop hikes. In other words, showing you all the ways that you can combine trails to enhance your adventure. There are over 60 loops, and those alone have another several hundred miles of trails. Jennifer, in preparation for this book, because I wanted to help people at all levels of hiking, there's a lot in the book for people who've maybe moved to the Verde Valley from a city or a big suburb and they've never been into nature. There's also a lot for people that are experts. I meet a lot of people that say they've hiked all the trails in Sedona. Well, you know what? You haven't. You have not yet seen all the trails in Sedona, and there are a lot of new ones as well. But in preparation for this, I completed a 40-mile loop hike connecting about 17 trails around Sedona, just to show people how much more hiking there is than we've ever realized before. There's very few places in America where you could have such an all-day adventure like that, that's so long and wonderful, and have such spectacular scenery, which to me is really the best reason to hike in Sedona.
Oh, absolutely. Now, throw us like an easy trail. If someone's listening and goes, oh my God, I've got to go hiking. This is so exciting. They're all fired up. Where should they start?
Well, what's so wonderful about the approach that I'm taking now, after 20 years of listening to hikers, really listening to people, What I realized was something about myself. You know, when I first moved here, on my first trail, I felt a very unusual feeling. I was so excited. I had moved here from the other side of the world just for the beauty and just for the hiking. And yet on the verge of my first footsteps into nature, I was afraid. I had this anxiety. I didn't know where it was coming from. I didn't know why it was there. And over time, I began to realize that basically, if you live in America these days, you're conditioned to be afraid of nature. You know, Jennifer, 4 out of 5 American adults grow up in cities or suburbs. And that means the million-year tradition of humans taking the next generation into nature has been broken. So now we have a lot of adults who've moved to the area for the nature, but they've never been taken out into it. My new approach helps people not pick an individual trail, but pick a neighborhood of nature that they can feel safe in.
Brilliant. Yeah, feeling safe in nature is a big part. You know, we think, oh, lions and tigers and bears, oh my, you know, and of course people, oh my, you know, you think about that, but really, it's all in your head. It's really okay. I've been out there too. I'm still here. I still have all my limbs. So get out and take a hike. And of course, pick up one of Dennis's books. You're available on Amazon. I've seen you in Walgreens.
Now this book will be out, coming out in the spring. So I'm excited, and thank you so much for mentioning it. I know there's going to be a great value for people.
Oh, it's just absolutely wonderful. If people want to find you, I know you're on Facebook.
Yes.
How else can we find you?
MrSedona@gmail.com. That's the simplest way. When we launch the book, we'll have a lot more public events to make it easier for people to communicate about hiking.
Wonderful. Thank you for what you've done for hiking in Sedona. It's so awesome. This is Dennis Andres, everybody. You'll see him around, Mr. Sedona, for sure. We'll be right back with more of the experience, so don't go away.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help. And slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
And welcome back to the Verde Valley Experience. We are now here at Fort Verde Historic Park, and we're standing here with part of the Camp Verde Cavalry. We have Colonel Jody White, and we have Lieutenant Colonel Howard Parish. Thank you, gentlemen, for meeting with us today.
Thank you.
It's an awesome organization. I know I see you guys in every parade, at every function. And tell us, how long have you been involved, Jody?
About 4 years now.
4 years. Excellent.
This coming this year will be my 3rd year doing the Colonel's Daughter competition.
Oh, very good. That's fun. I love doing that.
It is a blast. I have a lot of fun doing it. It's out of my norm, but
yeah, it's a hard one picking one of those lovely ladies to be just one, you know, the one.
But we're not the ones picking.
That's true. Your job's not. You get to escort.
We get to escort, and we get to do training and a little bit of that with them. It's a lot of fun. I mean, we start out there August riding with the girls, and kind of like a herd of ants out there going all over the parade ground. So and even same with the cavalry guys. This year we introduced the cavalry guys into the practice with it too.
All right.
So with August going on, we meet about 3 times a week in August. Competitions into September. But to start from August to September, the transformation's pretty great.
I bet. It's immense. What does it take to be a member of the Camp Verde Cavalry? What do you have to do? How old do you have to be?
We have to be 21, have a horse, That's usually
That's
a key,
kind of important.
key part. We're not real particular on the horses you ride, but we do want a pretty sound horse. We want a horse that's not going to spook, because we ride in parades quite a bit. We are in the public a lot with these horses. They're on asphalt, so a skittish horse on asphalt is pretty bad. One that's got good temperament, that gets along with other horses, doesn't want to fight, doesn't want to come in heat, doesn't want to be a pain in the butt out there, because we're side by side and we're 4 or 5 horses deep, and you need one horse acting up there and get all the horses acting up.
So my mare's out. Leave her home.
I don't even know if do we have a mare? I don't think we have a mare in the group right now.
Probably not.
No mares, no.
No. Okay. Well,
I've had some mares you could ride in there, but
but not normally, for sure. Now, your uniform is amazing. So you guys have these wonderful uniforms. When you are a part of the cavalry, it's all volunteer. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So do you have to get your own uniform then?
Correct.
Okay.
We have, that's been kind of a lot of the fun, actually. eBay's been a pretty good resource for us.
Hey, all right.
The fort's been a good reference for us for historical, because we're not absolutely historically correct, but we're functioning. We have to ride in this stuff. We have to live in it. So it's for us to have our uniform. I come to the fort for knowledge, and then I get on eBay and I start looking, like my saddles. I got my saddles off eBay.
All right.
I got 2 of them off eBay. One of them I got at Jim's Trading Post over here. All our saddles are over 100 years old. So we're riding antiques out there. We got one guy that's he bought a bridle out of the Cowboy Corner here, and it's an authentic bridle.
Right.
He's had to have it rebuilt to use it.
Right.
So, or even to our spurs, all of us have our own preference on spurs and what era you ride in, but we try to be somewhat error correct. We're not always error correct.
Yeah.
But
you're doing a great job. I noticed you have some authentic weapons and you have some authentic clothing pieces, and of course everything looks authentic. You've got the look going on. And the purpose of the Camp Verde Cavalry is to just continue on with a historical connection to...
Yeah, the tradition. It's been a tradition since 1957.
All right.
I think the fort was commissioned in the 50s again. But it's like a rodeo queen competition for the Colonel's daughter ladies, but for the guys, it's so they have a competition, bring the whole community together in it.
Yeah. It's definitely wonderful. You guys do a lot for the community. Now we're going to shift over here to the Lieutenant Colonel, lovely Howard Parish. Now, the funny thing, Howard, you have to tell us about this because this is hysterical. Remind us, you are one of the only surviving original members, is that correct?
That's right.
How's that work for you?
Well, I'm surviving.
You are surviving, and thank you for surviving.
He was mentioned antique saddles, I'm getting to be an antique.
You're going to be an antique here soon. Absolutely.
Just exactly.
And you're still riding, and you're still doing it all.
I'm still riding.
Absolutely. I bet, oh my gosh, the stories Howard has to tell, absolutely, of how many years you've been riding with the cavalry now? 50 some odd years?
Since 1958. And let's see, what, in 2 years that'd be... What,
58 years.
58 years. And man, I'll tell you what, I've been to parades. I'm paraded out, really.
No, that's not possible.
I'll tell you, I've been to some little ones. I've been to some big ones. We went to Santa Barbara, California.
Right.
And that's one of the big ones.
Wow.
But we got over there, by gosh, and of course it was right on the ocean. So we're going to take our horses down and let them look at the ocean.
Uh-oh. Really?
Well, they'd go down pretty good. And then when that water would come in, go, man, we went the other way. We couldn't get them down there to that water.
I bet. I can't imagine Arizona horses being too terribly interested in the ocean.
No, they weren't interested in that ocean at all.
That's something they'd been used to be seeing. So
Right.
I've seen you in so many parades, and I see you all over. You're just a fixture here in Camp Verde.
Is our format the
and,
same like we did?
You get a lot out of being in the cavalry, don't you?
I do. I'm representing my town.
Yep. Absolutely. And you do a dang bang-up job doing it, too.
I'm proud of my town. I spent about 15 years on planning and zoning.
All right.
At 2 different times. And in between that time, I spent 5.5 years on town council. So
Right. This is your town.
20 years is enough, to...
Right. That's not bad. That's pretty good. Instead of Camp Verde, they almost changed it to Camp Parish.
Right.
At some point, they still might. You never know.
But you know what? I'll tell you what, we've been rode the plumb down to border to border and all of them from this way south. All the towns, I'll tell you what. Used to go to Tucson now, boy, now that is a parade down there. They don't allow any motorized anything down there. And any vehicles comes in, wagons or anything, they can't be rubber tired. They have to be metal on the wheels.
Wow, that's a good one. I'll have to look for you for that parade for sure.
Yes, exactly. So, we rode down there several different years.
Wow, that's great. Do you guys practice year round?
Yeah, we do stuff year round.
Do stuff year round, sure. Have lunch, hang out.
We don't take off. We don't take off for anything.
You don't take off? No,
we don't take off.
Well, the cavalry is always needed, for sure. And this is wonderful here at the Fort Verde State Historic Park. Lots of information for you here about cavalry, about what's been going on here in Camp Verde. Of course, check these guys out on Facebook, the Camp Verde Cavalry on Facebook. If they want to join up, do they contact you through Facebook?
They can see this.
That's a good way to do it.
Or they can take me. I'm in the phone book.
There you go. You're in the phone book. You've been in the phone. You've been number 5 in the phone book.
Oh, I'll tell you what. First phone. Well, I've got one of the first phone that was on the other side of the river.
Really?
Really.
Oh my gosh.
And the phone book was just about that thick.
That big.
You know?
Yep, about 55 people in it, for sure. Well, thank you. Thank you guys very much for meeting with us. Thank you for what you're doing to preserve history with the Camp Verde Cavalry. Really appreciate you. Check them out, the Camp Verde Cavalry on Facebook, and we'll be right back, so don't go.
Your seat cushion can be used to grant wishes.
Who said that? Hello?
Really can, you know.
You talking to me?
Sure am. Because the airline miles or dollars you donate to Make-A-Wish can help send thousands of kids on their wish trips. So donate to Make-A-Wish today.
You really should, you know. You really should.
And give wishes wings. Because wishes work wonders.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Tears stream down your face as you fight to survive. Well, come on over here, baby, I'm gonna make it alright. Turn the lights down to soft and sweet. I'm gonna love on you like you love on me. We don't have much, but it's all we need when we turn the lights down to soft and sweet. Soft and sweet. Sometimes I wonder how I'd make it through life on my own. Near or far, wherever you are, your arms are my home. Through grief and pain, highs and lows, you and I are gonna make it through. 'Cause there's one thing I know to do. Turn the lights down to soft and sweet. I'm gonna love on you like you love on me. We don't have much, but it's all we need when we turn the lights down to soft and sweet. Soft and sweet is what we need. Soft and sweet, you here with me. Turn the lights down to soft and sweet. I'm gonna love on you like you love on me. We don't have much, but it's all we need when we turn the lights down to soft and sweet. To soft and sweet. Soft and sweet is what we need. Soft and sweet, you here with me.
Wonderful. I love that. This is Ryan Biter, which we've had him on the show before. It's nice to see you again.
Good to see you too.
That song felt like a hug.
Oh,
it did.
Good.
I felt like I was hugged. That was so wonderful. What a beautiful song.
Thanks.
What's that one called?
That's a new one called Soft and Sweet. And it's a co-write with a buddy of mine in Flagstaff.
Oh, nice. What was your inspiration for that? That was...
I had a chorus, the Soft and Sweet chorus that was going well, and I had some really not so great verses. And I brought it to a friend, and he goes, "Man, those verses are terrible." Which you get, a good friend that you work with, because these verses are terrible. That chorus is great. So he wrote one verse. I wrote the rest of the song from then on out and put it all back together. So,
brilliant.
Yeah, it's been fun.
That's brilliant. I love songwriters. You're just so interesting. Now, that one is obviously brand new. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So are you working on putting that together in some way?
Yeah, I'm working on a new CD. Should have about 9 or so tracks, maybe 10, but probably 9. And I'm just working with musicians now on some arrangements, and it'll be more, the last CD I did was a little more produced and had a lot more stuff going on. This will be a little more simple, some acoustic guitar, some upright bass, just some harmony vocals from some friends, and just some really simple arrangements and more of a live type of feel.
Oh, cool. Under Over Avenue was your first release, which was very good, right?
Under After Avenue.
Under After.
Which is too much of a mouthful, and I've learned that now. It's got to be simple.
Okay. Sorry. I was close.
You're close, and that's my bad for the way I named it.
For making it. But it's so cool, though. It was a cool name. I liked it. I liked the name a lot. I just got it wrong. I'm sorry. So now this is the follow-up, so to speak, to that, but a different avenue. Now, why do you think you went with the more live feel versus the produced?
I've been playing with some bluegrass musicians in Flagstaff, and I'm not a huge bluegrass aficionado. I don't know my stuff. I've been learning a bit of that. And there's just something so neat about a bluegrass band. And what I'm doing is definitely not bluegrass, but this kind of in the raw type of feel. The musicians feeding and moving off each other in a way that's very organic. And I think there's some artists, and hopefully one of them, that might be a style and an avenue that presents them better, kind of in their element, as if you're hearing them live.
Right, I like that, organic. I think of it as it's alive.
Yeah.
It's music that's alive. It's not canned, rehearsed, like over and over. We hit the same note at the same time. I look at you and we're feeding off of each other. That's when the magic happens.
And that's how so many classic albums were made. And it's kind of a lost art in a certain sense of just to go in a room, a good sounding room with some other great musicians, and knocking out a song in a really kind of old school type of way.
Right, for sure. Do you ever go anywhere without your guitar? I've never seen you anywhere without your guitar.
You know, that's something I get. I'll be at home and I'm playing, and my wife's like, I'm trying to talk to you right now, and I'm like, oh yeah, sorry. She's like, you can't pay attention and listen while you're playing guitar. I'm like, yeah, I can. And she's talking, and so it's definitely kind of what I've become associated with, and it's sort of I know at gigs, if I'm just singing with a band or something like that, it's always this like,
what do I do with my hands?
What do I do with my hands? And I do the Joe Cocker thing up in the air, and so, yeah.
That's great. So how far along are you on your second album?
We're just kind of starting. I mean, as far as right now, I've got kind of one song down recorded. The other ones are we're kind of get some musicians together, me and a bass player friend and a percussionist and another singer. We're kind of do kind of a session here in Sedona probably in February and probably knock out 4 or 5 songs that day. We'll have it tight. So a lot of this, it's kind of a different process as opposed to doing your tracking, and the majority of that, we're just kind of do a lot of practice on the front side. So you go in and you just sort of take it out as you go into the studio. And so it's a different type of approach. So it'll move a little faster in that sense as far as the recording part. The arranging and practicing is taking longer this time.
Sure, understandable. And where can we find you? Where can we buy your music?
I'm always playing around. My music you can find on a site called Bandcamp. You can find it on my website on ryanbitermusic.com. And you can also get on iTunes, but I tend to prefer Bandcamp on my own site. So.
Sure, that works. And you also have a great Facebook page.
Yeah, I have that. It's Ryan Biter Music on Facebook, so it's about as clear as it can get. RYNBITER music. It's probably written a little subheading below us. So, yeah, that's where you can find it.
What's the next song you're going to play for us?
The next song is called "Write This Down." It's an original tune.
Ooh, awesome. Well, Ryan Biter, nice to see you. Thank you for coming on the show. Thank you all so much for watching the Verde Valley Experience. You can check us out on verdevalleytv.com if you missed anything, or you want to watch this segment over and over and over again. Of course, we're also on YouTube. You can check that out too. And we'll see you next week.
Woke up again tonight, I just can't sleep. Been thinking about how I might leave. I could say I don't love you, but that wouldn't be true. I could say it's me, it's not you. I can't write this down, I can't go back to sleep. We can't live this way. You I cannot keep, you'll be moving on. You were meant for so much more. You'll be skipping this town as soon as I walk out that door. Walk out that door. For once I can't find the words to say. Should I leave a note or just walk away? Leaving you is hard, but loving you is too. Wasting paper is all I ever do. I can't write this down, I can't go back to sleep. We can't live this way. You I cannot keep, you'll be moving on. You were meant for so much more. You'll be skipping this town as soon as I walk out that door. Yes, I'm no good for you. It's the only line I wrote that's true, but I still can't walk away. I'm a coward and a selfish man. Leaving you is your best chance. If I love you, I won't stay. I can't write this down, I can't go back to sleep. We can't live this way. You I cannot keep, you'll be moving on. You were meant for so much more. You'll be skipping this town as soon as I walk out that door. Walk out that door. Woke up again tonight, I just can't sleep.